Welcome to the show. I'm Jason Whitlock, and I'll tell you how Lonzo Ball just proved yet again that he's a bust.
And I'm Colin Cowherd, and I'll tell you if the Giants were right to send Eli Manning to the bench. Speak for yourself on a Tuesday. Starts now. We have breaking news today on the show.
Breaking news. The Manning era is over. Hello and welcome. We're joined today by Fox NFL analyst Tony Gonzalez and Greg Jennings. Let's start in New York, where the 2-9 Giants announced that Geno Smith will get the start this week, sending struggling Eli Manning to the bench for the first time in over 13 years. Eli addressed the decision and the end of the streak today.
That's hard. Hard day to handle this, but hang in there and figure it out.
Hardest days of Giants, you would say?
It's up there. Yeah.
Do you feel like you might have started your last game for the Giants?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll take it one week at a time.
Last one, guys.
Have you spoken to anyone besides Ben about the decision, Jerry or John or anyone like that?
I spoke with Jerry Reese a little bit, and Mr. Mara had he hadn't been in today, and but he knows what's going on, and I'll try to speak with him tomorrow sometime.
That was an emotional Manning. He went on to say, Coach McAdoo told me I could continue to start while Geno and Davis are given an opportunity to play. My feeling is that if you're going to play the other guys, play them. Starting just to keep the streak going and knowing you won't finish the game and have a chance to win it is pointless to me, and it tarnishes the streak. Cowherd, was this the right move?
Yeah, about a year too late. It feels like Cal Ripken. You're starting Eli now because of a streak. You're not starting him because you think he's viable. I mean, he was never a great athlete. Now he's worse. Now he's a liability. 14 TDs, 7 picks. He's always had a lower completion percentage. Yes, he was great in the playoffs, but you have to get to the playoffs. You watch Carson Wentz. This is what happens in sports. Carson Wentz moves into your neighborhood, and all the owners of the Giants are like, that's special. And they watch Goff, and they go, that's special. And they watch David Carr, and they go, that's special. And they watch Eli, and they go, that's old. It's time. He's old.
Are you having memory issues or anything?
Why?
I mean, you don't remember Geno Smith? You've never seen him play? Again, when you're going to Geno Smith, it's like you don't dump your girlfriend until you have a new, better one lined up. Geno Smith is not a better option than Eli Manning. Geno Smith is no part of the Giants' future in terms of winning regular season games, playoff games, or anything like that. If they were playing this rookie Davis that they drafted, if that was going to be there, I would get it. But this Geno Smith, really?
I think they're sending a message. I said, Eli, it's been great. To me, this is about a message.
Then play the rookie.
I think they plan on eventually playing him.
Geno, I just don't know how you sell your locker room internally.
Now that.
Geno Smith's our guy.
I'm with you on that. Geno Smith, from what I've seen, he is not the answer. If you're talking about going to your young third-round draft pick in Davis, absolutely. And here's another thing. When you look at this division, you got all three other teams with young quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins with Washington. You got, obviously, Pennsylvania. And then you got Dak Prescott. They all have played really well. Dak Prescott not so hot the last few weeks. And you're not going anywhere with where you currently sit at the quarterback position. So move on. But to Geno Smith, to your point, this is not what I would be looking forward to coming into this week, starting with Geno Smith. With his track record, with what he's done over the course of his career, it's not been great. So this is not a viable option, in my opinion.
Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. I'm actually shocked. Why would you do this at this point in the season? Just let him finish it out. You owe it to him. I don't care. If the third rounder is not good enough to play over Geno Smith, you don't put Geno Smith over Eli Manning, a potential Hall of Famer. It makes no sense to me. I think the Giants and Coach McAdoo or whoever's pulling the strings over there, this is something that's covering their own butts or saying, hey, the season's, it was because of Eli Manning. I think it's disrespectful. I feel bad for Eli. Let him go at the end of the season. This is not what you do to a guy that brought you 2 Super Bowl rings.
Let's offer him a modicum of defense, a fig leaf. They went to Eli and said, you can keep starting, and we're going to just play the other guys. Eli, to his credit, might say, no, I don't want any part of any sham starts or whatever. And so maybe in their mind, they feel like their hand has been forced. They didn't want to go to Geno Smith. They know that's a tough sell in their locker room. They wanted to go with Eli. But I have a lot of respect for Eli and saying, hey, man, either I'm good enough to be your quarterback, I'm the guy that's won 2 Super Bowls with you. Manning family, royalty, quarterback position. If I'm not good enough to start, let me pull the rug out from underneath you, throw Geno out there, maybe you'll appreciate me.
Well, we don't know. Geno could be popular in the locker room among players. I mean, he could be. I don't know. I mean, Davis Webb played out west in Cal. Nobody.
I could also be 200 pounds, Colin.
But no, I think to your point, they want to see what else is out there. I think they do. And I think they did go to Eli with this. It's been reported. So I think your point is a real one. But how many years now? I saw a stat earlier this year that if you take Odell Beckham out of his career, is that Eli's completed 59% of his throws. We kill Cam for that. And Cam's an athlete. Cam can win games on his feet.
Eli's won 2 Super Bowls.
Okay, great. He's done a lot of people have done a lot of things. In today's NFL, where offensive lines, because of the new CBA, are worse, where you got to make some plays with your feet. Deshaun Watson comes into this league, pow. Like Carr, pow. Guys can run. Russ, he just can't make plays. He's a complete liability back
Listen,
there.
I think we all get it, but you got to have a better option.
Yeah,
I think we got Geno Smith here. Nathan Peterman, hold my beer. Wait till you see what I do this weekend.
Come on, look at the guys that they've lost to this year. You've lost Odell Beckham. You've lost Tim Brandon. You've lost all these guys. It makes no sense.
He's not the only reason. This is what I want to be crystal clear about. Eli Manning is not the reason why the New York Football Giants is as bad as they are. He's a part of the reason, but he is not the only reason why. To your point, they've lost a lot of key members of that offensive unit. Their offensive line has been atrocious all year long. Eli Manning has not played nowhere near the type of game or the type of football that we expected him to play this year. So he is to blame, but not totally.
Let's not undersell the Wentz factor. Biggest rival, Eagles, have this superstar
Geno Smith, Colin. Let me ask you another question. Let me give you a chance to get on stable ground here. Eli Manning, for a long time, we thought he was a Hall of Famer, or a lot of people thought he was a Hall of Famer. I was never really on board with that. Do you think getting benched here at the end of his career, will that diminish his Hall of Fame?
No. Michael Jordan played for the Wizards. Nobody cares.
When did Michael Jordan get benched other than
what
Junior
I'm
Bar?
saying is it's been established what Eli was. Good postseason, marginal, good clutch, not great regular season, almost better in crisis than at home as a favorite. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
No. I mean, it's been established what he is. The benching's not going to help or hurt. I mean, we kind of know what he is.
Yeah, I don't see him as a Hall of. I've never seen him as a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm in total agreement with you. But again, we have this standard, and Tony, you know, you'll be in the Hall of Fame. It won't be a problem. But they have this foolish standard with the Hall of Fame committee. If you can't tell the story of the NFL without mentioning this guy's a Hall of Famer. And I can see that nutty explanation. Well, the Giants won 2 Super Bowls with Eli.
They beat
and
Brady.
he had they beat Brady. They had the incredible throw and scramble with David Tyree. Oh my God! Of course you have to have him in the Hall of Fame because he's part of the overall NFL narrative. And I just think that's bogus. I think that's a bogus standard. The guy wasn't dominant enough at his position for a sustained period of time. I don't even know if he was ever super dominant.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Well, I think if you look at the numbers, it's kind of like Phillip Rivers down there, too.
No,
if you look
another
at
non-Hall of Famer.
Well, if you look at the numbers, from a numbers standpoint, to the guys that have already gotten into the Hall of Fame, guys without Super Bowl rings, I think Dan Fouts probably rings true, that
Take the different
these
era.
numbers are just, they're better than it was in Don Coryell, Air Coryell, where they air the ball out every 2-3 plays. They're throwing the football.
Tony, there was a league that used to allow defense. I don't know if you ever heard. The NFL used to allow guys to play defense. It was an incredible league. What they've done now. Anyway, Eli Hall of Famer?
No, the fact that we have to debate whether he's a Hall of Famer or not, no, he's not. When you look at what he's done, it doesn't totally supersede what his lack of performances has been. And when you look at a Hall of Famer, you tend to look at them. Tony, did you make your teams better?
Yes.
Okay. Has Eli made the New York Football Giants?
I think all those Super Bowls, he came up in clutch. I'm not going to say he's not a Hall of Famer.
Tony,
I'm not going to say he is.
Your last few seasons with Atlanta, did you make that team a better football team?
Yes.
Has Eli Manning made the New York Football Giants a better football team the last 2 years he's been there?
Listen, I think we can sit here and debate it all you want, like with players being hurt and offensive line woes.
Didn't you say yesterday
I like Eli.
injuries are part of the game?
Yeah.
Yes, if everything's perfect for Eli, he's got the Hall of Fame coach and the great and the Plaxico and the right. Yes, if everything's perfect, that's not the way the league works. Hall of Famers, when does Aaron Rodgers get a defense? When does Russell Wilson get an O-line? Hall of Famers overcome.
Absolutely.
You had horrible quarterback play until Atlanta. You were still a Hall of Famer on your way. Hall of Famers don't need a bunch of stuff to be Hall of Famers. Cal Ripken, for a big chunk of his career, had nobody around him. Hall of Famers don't need ideal situations.
I would say this. I don't know if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's definitely somebody you would consider down the line, down the road a little bit.
Hi guys, Colin Cowherd here. Before the show moves along, I wanted to talk to you about Freshly. So you've tried all the meal kits out there. 30 minutes turns into 60, and all of a sudden you realize you're actually paying to do all the work. With Freshly, those days are over. It's a weekly prepared meal service that delivers fresh, never frozen, 100% all-natural meals. Developed by their team of chefs and nutritionists. They're fully cooked. All you have to do, heat them up. Each meal ready in only 3 minutes. No more worrying about what's for dinner. No shopping, no chopping, no cleanup. Also, no artificial ingredients, preservatives, or added sugar. Delivery and takeout places are hit and miss. Why run the risk when you can have guaranteed quality meals with Freshly? Freshly makes it easy, no dishes to worry about. Be happy to get back an hour every day. Try Freshly today. Get $40 off your first 2 deliveries. Just go to freshly.com/FoxSports. That's 6 meals for only $39 for 2 weeks. It's Freshly's best offer ever. Only valid for a limited time. Head to freshly.com/FoxSports or enter the code FoxSports at checkout. Shipping is always free. How cool is that? Now let's get back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Tony Gonzalez, Greg Jennings here. Let's move to Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin took some heat after talking at length about his team's Week 15 matchup with New England right before his team struggled to beat Green Bay Sunday night. Today, Big Ben was asked about his coach's forward-looking comments and had this to say.
You know, he's the head coach. He's allowed to think about whatever game or whatever elephant in the room or whatever matchups, things like that. For me, I am 100% on Cincinnati and nothing else. That is my biggest focus because these guys are going to come out to get us. I mean, they want to ruin our playoff chances. There is zero Patriots. There is zero film, work, talk, anything like that from me for any team other than the Bengals right now.
All right, Whitlock, is Big Ben again taking a passive-aggressive shot at Mike Tomlin?
You know, in the morning when we discussed this as a topic, I was like, nah, I just think he's covering for him. But the more I think about it, the more you and I talk, I think he's taking a shot. And it's really putting Tomlin in an interesting situation. The Bengals are still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
Marvin Lewis is desperate to keep his job. It's AFC North football. You don't have to tell Vontaze Burfict or any of these Bengals anything to get them up this week. If the Steelers lose this game, what an embarrassment for Mike Tomlin for opening his mouth and talking about anything going on in Week 15. And so and Ben's comments are out in front of that. And so the blame will squarely lie with the head coach if they come out with a flat performance and get beat by the Bengals.
This is weird for me. This is the story that we're not talking about. This is maybe the 5th time that Big Ben's taken a shot at Mike Tomlin. He took a shot at the Antonio Brown video, practice was too hard, the anthem kneeling, and now this. Some have been more passive-aggressive than others. But if Brady was taking shots at Belichick, we'd talk about it. If Russell Wilson was taking shots at Pete Carroll, we'd talk about it. If Aaron Rodgers was taking shots at Mike McCarthy every 3 months, we'd talk about it. Sometimes I can't figure out. We have a Hall of Fame quarterback and maybe a Hall of Fame coach, and there's clear animosity between the two. Any chance Big Ben has an opportunity to come out and say, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I mean, I'm talking he sounds like the coach. The coach sounds like the player. Am I wrong on that?
That's my take on it. They're flipped roles. When you have someone looking that far down the road, you would think and automatically assume as a player, you can't do that. Well, when your head coach is doing it, what kind of message are you sending not only to your team, but to the younger players that this is how I operate? You can't do that. I don't care who you are. When you're talking about playing games and it's not your next opponent, it's not the opponent that you face right here, right now, you can't look down the road. They have not only the Bengals, he looked past the Bengals, he looked past the Ravens, 2 division games.
Those are arguably 2 of the top 5 rivalries in the league.
Absolutely. And in games that they're going to have to scrap to get.
And they got dissed.
Both
Tomlin
teams are starting
essentially
to play better.
dissed them.
Yeah, and I just don't see why Tomlin would put himself in this situation. So for me, this is a shot clearly by Ben, but a rightfully so shot. He should definitely take this shot.
Oh, he had to. I think he had no choice because he's got to calm the troops, the guys in that locker room, all the young guys. We talked about it yesterday. But come on, think about a marriage. I mean, it's balance. Okay, it works. This works for them. They're winning games. They're still winning Super Bowls.
The couple that fights a lot.
The couple that fights a lot, whatever it is, whatever's going on, it's a good balance there. You're right. Yeah, it seems you could definitely, if you closed your eyes and you said, who said this? Was this a player or was this a coach? You would definitely go, oh, a player must have said what Coach Tomlin said. But at the same time, I don't care. If I'm on that team, get us right, Ben, whatever it is. One of the mom, dad, please get us going in the right direction. We all want to go to the ice cream parlor together. Who cares? We just got to go.
What do you make of that?
I think that I would rather be the couple that says, man, how many fights have we had in 50 years? Maybe 2. I'd rather be that couple than the couple that's fighting every week, because at the end of the day, the couple that's fighting every week, they're going to end in divorce.
No, you saw The Notebook. They stayed together forever. You saw The Notebook. They stayed together. They died together on the couch, whatever.
I just don't think, again, to me, Pittsburgh should have 3 Super Bowls, if not 4, during the Big Ben era. And Tomlin should have had a 2nd Super Bowl. He got to 2, lost 1. And so I think I can argue they've underachieved.
Oh, no, I think they have. Could I throw this out? Remember when Big Ben talked retirement? I felt, now when you add up all these comments, that was Big Ben speaking to ownership. I'm really frustrated because he still has years left. Yeah. And ownership said, no, we're staying with Mike. And then that dissipated. But there was a time in the offseason that Ben randomly brought up, yeah, I'm thinking about retirement. And I'm thinking, that's odd. I really believe he was sending a message to ownership, which is, I'm not happy. He had previously said, I don't like the way practices run. I don't like the way the locker rooms run. And I just think the Rooney said, we don't do that. We keep our coaches, and we're not going to make the move. That just felt like a strike to me from Big Ben. Welcome back. We're joined now by founder of the Big League, Jason McIntyre, NBA champ, and Chandler Parsons' best friend, Steven Jackson. Let's move to Memphis, where the Grizzlies have fired head coach David Fizdale, well-liked guy, after the team's 8th straight loss dropped him to 7-12 on the year. The firing prompted shock from some guys who played under Fizdale. He was an assistant in Miami, with LeBron James tweeting, quote, I need some answers. Feels like my man was a fall guy. And Dwayne Wade adding, quote, I need answers. WTF, Whitlock. Fizdale get a raw deal?
Yeah, I got some answers for him. I don't follow Memphis well enough to know whether he individually got a raw deal, but I got some answers for Dwayne Wade and LeBron James and anybody else wondering why Earl Watson and now David Fizdale have been fired, why the NBA has far less black coaches than it has in the previous 10, 15 years. Analytics. And the analytics-driven front offices don't work for former black players who are coaches, don't work for black coaches. And the NBA is going backwards in terms of coaching diversity. No one's talking about it. Everybody ignores it because the NFL, it's so racist, and we must focus on that. And things are perfect in the NBA where the progressive liberals have everything just the way they want it. Analytics, Silicon Valley, all of this social media stuff that everybody thinks is great for black people, it's actually death. And you're watching the death of black coaches in the NBA because of analytics.
My question to you would be, why aren't they embracing analytics? I mean, I know Byron Scott was never an analytics guy.
Charles Barkley. Listen, I talked to a Hall of Fame NBA player today about this very issue, and former coach, former front office person, and it's just, I'm anti-analytics. To be quite honest with you, I'm more into human interaction, the chemistry on the team, things like that. Everybody, the whole media has gone analytics from the, I'm not bad, Zach Lowe's a talented guy, but everybody's writing about stats.
Yeah, but
no one's evaluating the human beings. And
to me, this feels really simple, is that Magic got coaches fired, MJ got coaches fired, LeBron's had coaches run, and Marc Gasol's not as good as those players, but
not on the same planet.
Not on the same planet, but star player unhappy. It's been confirmed now. He and Fizdale struggled. The NBA.
That's not why he got fired, in my opinion, though. Marc Gasol, those guys you just rattled off names, Hall of Famers. The reason he got fired, remember last year when he said, take that data, or whatever, the big statement? Again, everybody thought he was sparring with the media and about the refs. I think he was taking a shot at his front office.
Yes.
And again, it's an analytics-driven team, and these guys want to come down they never played the game, never really coached, they just want to come down. It's the same thing the Cleveland Browns got going on in football. Here's what the numbers say, here's what the data says, and if you're not on message about the data, they're running you out.
It's happening in baseball with some managers.
It's happening everywhere. It's happening to the media. Everything here, social media. If Twitter and Facebook don't do this, you're not talking about the right thing.
What was your reaction?
Well, I mean, I definitely feel like he got a raw deal. I mean, if you don't think that black coaches get put on the short string, then you're naive. I mean, look at Hoiberg in Chicago. How long has he been there? They haven't won. He's still there. Nobody's talking about his job. And it's simple. You can't expect the coach to get a team to win and to go to war without no soldiers. Zach's gone. Tony Allen's gone. You got guys that's making $100 million that average 9 points. That don't add up. So I think he was dealt a raw hand, and I felt like he didn't have the right players to be successful. For just to be successful, period. You have a whole bunch of young guys that's still trying to figure their way out in the league. Marc Gasol is great, like I said earlier. He's one of the best big men in the league. But now, Mark, you want to get coaches fired? You need to go look in the mirror. The 7-footers that's in the league now, they getting triple doubles. They playing point guard. So you fall into the back of the line with the big fellas. So your pull is getting real slim. Yeah. I don't think you have the right to the power to fire someone because you're not even a top 5 big man right now.
It's a tough spot for Gasol, right? I mean, are they rebuilding or are they still a playoff team?
Right.
Exactly, and I don't think the front office knows, and you made a great point about the analytics because a former guy from our rival network is in that front office, and they're driving analytics hard, and guess what's happening? They got Mike Conley making a lot of money. He's hurt. They got Chandler Parsons, your guy, making a lot of money. He never plays. And they got a lot of D-League guys on that roster. And if you can't get along with the star and the front office says, hey, this is what we're doing, because we've been to the playoffs 7 years in a row. That's the 3rd best streak in the NBA, by the way. Yep. They can't rebuild. You in Indiana, Memphis, these guys can't rebuild because they're small markets. Then they're going to lose money. And the owners, as you guys know, they don't want that. So they feel like, we're caught in this tough spot. And Gasol made him the fall guy, and now where do you go?
You need to start off the season then with telling your people that's paying for them tickets that we don't plan on winning this year. Yeah. That's what you need to do.
Are they going to stick around?
Instead of just giving money to guys that $100 million to a guy that averages 9 points, it just don't add up. People don't like the truth, but fans deserve it.
We are seeing a revolution in basketball, and I've told you, there's only one way to win anymore: shoot threes. I mean, when I grew up, you could be a jump shooting team, you could be a physical team like the Knicks, who had a bunch of guys who couldn't shoot. There is a revolution, and if what you're saying is true, which is the black community and the coaches are not buying into analytics, it's more about the players in the game, this is another part of that revolution where I think it hurts the league. I've been saying this for 2 years. The NBA now has just come down the court, space, shoot a three. I don't find it as artistically, optically captivating as I did. I don't.
What about Mark Jackson with the Golden State Warriors? They win 50 games. He's not a real analytics guy.
And they boot him.
They fire him. They bring in Steve Kerr. But what happened? They kind of, play to the analytics, and they win 70 games and a bunch of titles.
And Mark Jackson would sit here right now if he were on set and say, no. The seeds that I planted fully took root, and they won a championship.
Right.
And the fact that Mark Jackson, having planted those seeds, still hasn't gotten another job in the NBA, that's an indictment on the NBA. And so, again, everybody loves to beat up the NFL. No one wants, and I love these players that they want to slap equality on their T-shirts, and they're all concerned about everybody else. They won't even take care of their own sport. and the opportunities for people in their own sport. They won't even speak out and talk about this. They don't even, I don't even know if they even understand what the issues are and the problems are. They spend so much time over Twitter and Facebook that they're, and think that they're woke when they're really dead ass asleep.
Yeah, I couldn't play in the NBA right now because I would have been the first guy not to stand up for a national anthem. I would have been the first guy to stand up instead of just saying that we're gonna wear T-shirts or equality. That really didn't do nothing for me. I think that either they should have made a bigger statement because it was an opportunity to make a bigger statement than they didn't.
All right, welcome back. Steven Jackson and Jason McIntyre are back. Let's move to Lonzo Ball, who had yet another terrible night, going 1 for 7 from the field and scoring just 3 points in a loss to the Clippers. Lonzo has been an embarrassment shooting the ball this year with the worst field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage in the NBA. Cowherd, can you spell bust without ball? I don't think you can.
I don't think he's a bust. I think he's a very flawed young player in a big fishbowl. De'Aaron Fox isn't starting for Sacramento, but we don't even talk about it. Josh Jackson doesn't start for Phoenix. We don't talk about it. Man, this is, you know what he is? He's a drummer. That's all he is. He's not a lead singer, so don't give him the mic. He's not a shooter. He was never a shooter. He's a distributor. He's top 5 in assists. His rebounding numbers. You you could go look at
Avery Johnson now. Is that who he is?
Stop it.
That's why he went number 2. He's Avery Johnson.
He is a longer, better passing Avery Johnson.
Oh,
Is that terrible?
put him up in the rafters. Isn't that what Magic was saying? Let's start a big baller brand because he's the tall Avery Johnson. That is what really moved those shoes off the shelf. Let me throw some names at you. The top 5 picks in the last 10 years. Worst shooting percentages. Lonzo Ball tops up Dante Exum, Dragan Bender, Anthony Bennett. That's the list of guys he's associated with. Who? Dante Exum, Dragan Bender,
So
Anthony Bennett.
If you
Who
can't
else,
shoot,
guys?
you can't play.
It's basketball.
Who?
He's
you
tough.
can't be in the adult industry if you can't
Yeah.
get it up.
He's
All right, let's settle. Captain Jack, come on, listen. You know a shot can be fixed in the NBA. You can't fix court vision and feel and vibe for a team. I want to take the positive on Lonzo Ball.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
Go
He
ahead.
is in an elite class right now, guys. There are 4 players in the league averaging 8 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists.
Woo.
LeBron, Russell
Russ.
Westbrook, and Ben Simmons. And Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
Can we, listen, Whitlock, I know you're burying your
You're
head.
not surrounded by
Again,
much,
he's
Jason.
doing everything. Now, Steve, I mean, you saw NBA play. When you can't shoot, you do everything else. Like you said, top 10 in assists. He's second among point guards in blocks. We're going to fix the shot. It's going to be okay. We're 20 games in. Can we let this bake before we kill him and call him a bust?
What do you see?
Yeah, we can't kill him
Oh,
yet. We can't kill him
thank
yet. I mean, one thing about it, he might not be made for the big moments, but the kid still can play the game. I mean, his upside is big. I think he needs to go out and just play the game and stop worrying about getting guys going, doing this or making my shot. Just go play the game. He's having rookie jitters. I don't think he's going through anything that any other rookie hasn't been through. I just think everything
He's
that's
shooting
on the
30%
right,
from the field.
Right, but a lot of rookies just shot that bad, but at the end of their rookie year, the percentages went up.
Take me through your career. Did you ever play with a rookie that struggled in the first half?
Yeah, me. I made the rookie All-Star game.
Were you the second pick?
I was the second to last pick in the draft.
By the way, and couldn't I make the argument, though? Let's just forget where he was drafted. It doesn't matter where Brady, Russell Wilson, Draymond Green's drafted. Ultimately, can he be an effective point guard?
Yes, he
Now,
can.
today, because the draft wasn't that long ago, it's easy to go, he's not a 2-pick. Okay. By next year, nobody gives a rip. Can play or can't play. To Jason's point, we're asking him, we're judging him on shooting. He's a drummer. You give Tommy Lee the mic, the band's bad.
Because it's basketball. And as long as it's basketball, putting the ball in the hoop matters. Listen, you keep talking, fix the shot. He don't need a fixed shot.
They need to fix
he
the
needs a
number one pick shot.
transplant.
That's the shot needs to be fixed. The number 1 pick. His shot needs to be fixed.
Markelle Fultz can't
And
shoot.
Ben Simmons can't. He hasn't made a
And
three-pointer.
by the way, Markelle Fultz is a shooter who can't shoot.
The man is shooting 42% from the free throw line.
That's bad, yeah.
That is
He's a point guard.
No,
That's bad.
that's a very good point. That's why
bad.
I believe that stat alone is why I believe this is mental. It's a mental
I
block.
hope it's mental.
And again, let's look at all the ingredients that go into why he might have a mental block. His dad put too much pressure on him.
Fair.
There's too much hype around him.
Fair.
Guys are going at his neck. It starts building on itself. It's hard. You just don't recover confidence. Success breeds confidence.
Exactly.
I keep wondering when the success is going to happen to build his confidence, because guys are going to keep going at his neck. This is going to build on itself. Look, I've updated the Lonzo meter. You know, can we show the Lonzo meter?
It's not going to get easier.
Can we show I got my Lonzo meter. Can we show that, please? I think I have him at full bust now. Role player. At one point, I had him playing in China.
G League is next. Steven, you made a great point about
Whit.
you were the second to last pick in the draft.
Right.
There were no expectations for you coming in. None.
Right.
And then you tear it up. Wow. Kyle Kuzma had no expectations.
Right.
He's killing it with the Lakers. There were expectations for Lonzo Ball. He's not meeting them yet, and we've declared him a bust. Don't you think the word expectations matter here?
Yeah, but I don't. And you definitely can't call him a bust. It's too early, Whit. It's too early, Whit. I think he has composure. I could see you saying he'll bust if he was getting technical fouls, throwing the ball, getting mad, walking to the locker room, getting frustrated because he can't make a shot. But he's not.
You're Action Jackson.
Yes.
You played for the Pacers.
Yes.
You were in the Malice at the Palace.
The star player.
Okay, look. Did you see the video of him walking away from the fight, and you gonna defend this man?
You know what? I'm finna speak on that. I think he did the right thing by not going in and help. Well, you know why? 2 reasons. When he got knocked down a week before that, or 2 weeks before that, when Patrick Beverly knocked him down, nobody came up to help him. The second reason, nobody fights with, you know this, it's all for TV. And it was Tyler Ulis against a 6'9" guy. What you helping him for?
That's a very good
Wow.
point.
Okay.
No one fights in the NBA, it's all for
Action
TV.
Jackson.
You thought a little.
Studio gangsters, right?
I'm the only one really out here.
LeBron shut down any comparison to Ben Simmons last night, put up 30, 14, and 6 assists, dominates his first matchup with a talented Sixer star. After a slow start, the Cavs have now won 8 straight, and all that talk of Kyrie winning the breakup starting to look a little premature, with LeBron clearly outplaying the former teammate in every category, and the Cavs coming up fast on the East, leading Celtics. Are you ready to admit LeBron's winning this breakup, Whitlock?
He's starting to win the breakup. I don't like you throw up these stats and say he's dominating him in every category. One guy's 6'9". Of course he's going to have more rebounds. He's going to shoot the ball closer to the bucket. Of course he's going to shoot a higher percentage. So is he starting? Yeah, I think we may get to the All-Star break, and LeBron may have won the breakup by then. But again, look, what does Celtics have? 16, 17, 18-game win streak?
What?
Boston is still overachieving. LeBron and them are finally just starting to play at the level they should be playing.
You know, I kind of look at it like the divorce where they both win. Kyrie gets.
Please explain this.
Yeah.
So
He's
not
talking about his own divorce.
Okay.
He's talking about himself.
Most divorces are ugly, but in this divorce, Kyrie gets the perfect coach for his game.
Right.
He now gets to take the ball and control the offense.
Right.
He's the wizard, and it's his team. LeBron no longer has the little guy with a chip on his shoulder who didn't play any defense. He gets an Isaiah Thomas, a banged-up Isaiah that will be much more LeBron's valet, who won't push back on LeBron. I think they both win here. Now, I do think long-term, Kyrie, Hayward, Picks, Stevens is the winner. But not every divorce is ugly. To me, they both win. The stats are proving it.
Sounds like a cop-out, but I like it. You just convinced me. I was ready to come in with all this Kyrie Irving stuff. But I think you're right. Both people win here. But I think it'll be settled at the end of the season, obviously, when they meet in the Eastern Conference Finals. And Kyrie goes at Isaiah Thomas and LeBron and, the Brad Stevens factor. But for the first month, we were giving Kyrie the belt. Now LeBron has it. It'll go back and forth. I think it's a little premature for this. I still believe the Celtics are going to get him in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's looking a little far ahead.
Boy, I don't believe that. I don't know who guards LeBron. They gave up Jay Crowder. I don't know who guards
Mr.
LeBron.
Morris, of course.
Come on. Oh, come on. That's not going to work. Yeah, it's not.
King. It's always King. LeBron James. I mean,
King
it's not really a win or lose situation for me, but LeBron is still king. He will always be king as long as he's in the NBA. One thing I love about Kyrie, I love players that want to stand on his own. Kyrie went to Boston knowing that LeBron didn't win that last championship without him. If I wasn't on that team, this is Kyrie thinking. If I wasn't on that team, LeBron don't have the last championship. They had it. We went to the finals, and I got hurt. They didn't win it. When I came back, they won. So he's not really thinking about nothing else but going to Boston, being the best player he can be for Boston, and play basketball. The only thing that changes with Kyrie is the uniform and the city's in. That's the only thing that changes. He's the same player.
It's weird, or it's interesting how much better LeBron and the Cavaliers have played once Derrick Rose disappeared. I mean,
No, that's a really good point. As much as we talked about LeBron and Kyrie not getting along, it worked pretty well. Dwayne Wade and LeBron wasn't perfect. It worked pretty well. Rose and LeBron was a mess, which, by the way, speaks to one of the issues with Derrick Rose. He's always been talented, but Jimmy Butler couldn't get along with him. Derrick Rose was the one bad fit.
I think it plays to your analogy. It's like Derrick Rose was the new point guard girlfriend. Once he dumped him, I'm gonna be single for a while.
Right.
Now he's hit his stride.